It's been the big trending story for the last 48 hours. The Modi government's proposal to ban all private cryptocurrencies with certain exceptions. The Modi government will be tabling this bill. It's called the Cryptocurrencies and Regulation of Official Digital Currency Bill of 2021 in the upcoming winter session of Parliament that begins on the 29th of this month. The bill aims to regulate cryptocurrency in the country with some exceptions to promote the technology and its applications. This bill also seeks to facilitate a framework for creation of official digital currency that will be issued by the Reserve Bank of India. This move comes in the backdrop of worries that such currencies are being used to deceive investors with false claims and possibly to fund terrorist activities. Ahead of this sweeping curbs by the Modi government, Indian crypto exchanges are witnessing a massive fall in cryptocurrency value.
The worst part is that people are investing, especially the younger population between 21 and 35, without knowing the consequences of what is going to happen to their money. Because it is not based on fundamentals. For any investor's hard-earned money, I think that is far too much a risk to be taken. And I think Government of India is taking the right move, although I would say it is coming a bit late.
Cryptocurrency is like an enigma. There is no clarity. People don't know. People just want to buy them because they feel that they are going to end up making a lot of money. So yesterday when there was an announcement, which is a very welcome move by the government, that they are going to introduce a bill in the parliament in this winter session so that there is a clarity on cryptocurrency, there is a regulator. So the industry which was not regulated previously now will be regulated, apparently it seems, and they will name which cryptocurrency an Indian can invest in.
Banning private cryptocurrencies is basically ending the entire idea of a new fintech that can emerge as a huge employment creator, employment generator, and a new economy that youth seem to have managed to understand, but people are still struggling to understand. Do not treat it as a legal tender of exchange. You create an asset class for it, determine some tax amount that would be taxable if you earn any source of income through it. Third, I have been saying that any investor who's getting invested in it, knowledge to that investor. At the same time, their KYC documents should be in place so that there can be no misuse of those funds.
Well, I was actually anticipating that we would see a more descriptive title for this particular session, where we will be able to decode some kind of information out of this before the actual bill gets tabled on the parliament. That has not happened. So we will have to wait and watch what exactly is coming up on the table. It is just immature right now to just try to decode whatever title of the agenda item is there. It is just like same as before. So it just has to be wait and watch.
Akshita now explains the relevance of the crypto bill. And even if you're not familiar with crypto or you've been postponing the opportunity to learn more about it, listen in, because this will affect how things happen going forward, including in your life.
So why are we seeing this discussion over a cryptocurrency bill? Here's what the government says on why there's a need for it right now. First is to create a framework for digital currency to ensure that there are certain guidelines that must be followed in the digital currency market as well. There are also exceptions for certain cryptocurrencies that will be brought about with this bill. And in the framework also, there will be exceptions mentioned for certain cryptocurrencies, for certain players. The government is making it very clear that they seek to regulate and most definitely not stop crypto. This is a conception that's being spread right now, but the government is saying we want to regulate. We by no means want to ban cryptocurrency. Now, also there is the issue of what the crypto bill may have. Well, first it aims to ban all private cryptocurrencies. That's because there's no way right now to regulate each of these players. It also facilitates the creation of an RBI-issued digital currency. Now, the exact details of this RBI digital currency, we're awaiting. We'll get details of that when the bill is tabled. Now, there's also going to be an exemption to promote underlying crypto tech. So players who continue to promote crypto technology will be given an exception so they can continue to do so. And therein lies the message that the government has no plans to stop or ban cryptocurrencies in the country.
Now, cryptocurrencies are extremely volatile and the market thrives on speculation. It is for this reason that the world and its economies are still very wary about digital money. El Salvador, a tiny Caribbean nation, is the only country in the world that has approved Bitcoin as an official currency. Nations like the United States, Germany, UK and Australia have also taken a pro-crypto stand. But then there are those like China who've put a blanket ban on Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. Here's how cryptos are going around the world.
Bitcoin and Ethereum, the largest and second largest cryptocurrencies in the world, surging to new highs, rising as far as $67,700 and $4,800 respectively. Both have more than doubled since June and added nearly 70% against the dollar since the start of October. The little more than decade-old market for digital assets has already roughly quadrupled from its 2020 year-end value and now stands at $3 trillion in market capital. As cryptocurrency becomes a more significant factor in the global investment landscape, countries have taken different approaches to regulating the asset class. El Salvador is the only country in the world to allow Bitcoin as legal tender. In June this year, the country's Congress formally adopted Bitcoin as a form of payment. The United States has also taken a generally positive stance towards Bitcoin. Prominent businesses like Dish Network, Microsoft, Subway and Overstock welcome payments in Bitcoin. The digital currency has also made its way to the US derivatives market, adding to its legitimacy. Canada too maintains a generally Bitcoin-friendly stand. Bitcoin transactions are viewed as barter and the income generated is treated as business income. But some major Canadian banks have banned the use of their credit and debit cards for Bitcoin transactions. Similar to Canada, Australia considers Bitcoin neither money nor a foreign currency, with the Australian Taxation Office ruling it as an asset for capital gains tax purposes. United Kingdom has a pro-Bitcoin stance and wants the regulatory environment to be supportive of the digital currency. Bitcoin is under certain tax regulations in the UK. Germany is open to Bitcoin, where it is considered legal but taxed differently depending upon whether the authorities are dealing with exchanges, miners, enterprises or users. Bitcoin, however, is banned in China. All banks and financial institutions are prohibited from dealing in Bitcoin. The Chinese government has cracked down on miners and cryptocurrency exchanges are also banned. In Russia too, the use of Bitcoin as payment for goods and services is illegal. Bolivia, Colombia and Ecuador have also banned the use of Bitcoin. India is considering a middle path on cryptocurrencies. What will it be? We'll have to wait and watch. Bureau Report, India Today.
Now, this upcoming crypto legislation by the Modi government seems to have drawn heavily from recommendations of what is called the SC Garg committee formed by the Department of Economic Affairs in the Indian Ministry of Finance. The committee proposed banning cryptocurrencies in the country. India Today spoke to the former Finance Secretary SC Garg, whose name is on that committee, on these concerns that he had raised and which could influence this upcoming bill.
See, that rationale is clear. The currencies is a sovereign function. The currencies which we use to trade, make payments, remittances and all is essentially a sovereign function. That is where the biggest trust comes into it. Private currencies, you can print any, you can bring out any number, there is no regulation, there is no control. Just imagine for a minute that if the private industry or private entrepreneurs were allowed to print paper currency, the bank notes which the Reserve Bank issues, suppose they were allowed to be printed by the private entrepreneurs, how would that work? They would simply flood because the cost of printing the note is almost nothing. If you print 1,000 rupees or 2,000 rupees note, it might actually cost you hardly about 2 rupees or 3 rupees, maybe not even that much. Right. So likewise, the private cryptocurrencies, the cost of creating currencies is almost next to nothing. So how can a system function where the real goods and services are traded by a currency, a private currency, which can be limitlessly printed? So that system is not feasible. It's not workable. It's going to be dangerous, and therefore, private cryptocurrencies or private banknotes or private anything of as far as currency is concerned, I don't think that's a workable idea. That should be banned. That has no space.
Right. But so what happens to the investors? I mean, these are a lot of investors who've invested a lot of money, and especially if we talk about the millennial era, last 1.5 years in the COVID times, the youth has invested a lot.
See, that is the complexity about crypto ecosystem. They are not merely currencies. They are doing a lot more. There is value there. For example, if you take, let's say, Ethereum. So today, Ethereum is emerging as a global digital platform to create applications, to provide lots of services. For example, so the banking and non-banking system exists for financing today. So you extend credit and all, but similar financing facilities are emerging as decentralized finance on the other platforms like Ethereum. Similarly, many assets are getting created. You've heard about NFTs and all. So a lot of valuable assets. And that's possible. You can have a print, an artwork which is done on physical paper or canvas or something. Likewise, you can digitally create artwork. You can create a lot of services, music, games, other things on the crypto platforms. And that is what is happening elsewhere. The complexity is that the crypto system works where a lot of these things, the goods, services, assets, currencies get enmeshed, and they become one single kind of manifestation as currencies. So the ability of the governments and the society to segregate the value from the non-valuable things like currency is still not figured out. And that is what the millennials are being driven by, that valuable thing which is being created on that. The underlying technology of blockchain and cryptography is a very robust, very innovative technology, and it will give a big run for its money to the traditional database or centralized technology on which today's financial system runs.
Bitcoin, Dogecoin, HODL, mining, the crypto universe has a lot of new terms that can be quite confusing for beginners. Our tech editor Ayush Elawadi breaks it all down for you. And believe me, ladies and gentlemen, don't be nervous if you feel like you don't know enough about crypto. But let me tell you that here on India Today, we're going to keep you ahead. We're going to help you educate yourself and also convince you that this is important knowledge. Take a look.
There's this sense of FOMO that's setting in for a lot of us who don't really understand what's really happening in the crypto world. Don't worry, we've got you covered. Here's a starter pack on some crypto lingo that might be useful for your next dinner table conversation. Crypto coins, cryptocurrencies are virtual assets. What it means is there's no tangible asset like a coin or paper. It's just a bunch of code being exchanged on a network, or what we call a blockchain. Bitcoin mining, one of the most popular cryptocurrencies, is Bitcoin, and the process by which new Bitcoins are created is called mining. Again, not to burst your bubble here, but there's no real caves and mines and stuff. it's just a bunch of complex mathematical puzzles which are solved on high-end computers. And on successful completion, the miner or coder is rewarded with Bitcoin. Dogecoin, what seems to be Elon Musk's favorite cryptocurrency, actually started out as a joke. Well, it uses the popular Doge meme as its logo, and it's no laughing matter now. Dogecoin is actually accepted by some sports teams and companies like SpaceX, literally taking it to the moon. To the moon! Speaking of to the moon, when a cryptocurrency's price is experiencing a massive spike, traders and analysts will literally say that this coin is headed to the moon. It's good to be wary though of the risks involved, because what goes up to the moon could eventually come back down to Earth really soon. HODL. Someone misspelled the word hold, but now it's become a crypto term which stands for hold on for dear life. Basically, it means don't sell your crypto. HODL it. Weather the storm instead and wait for the good times that probably lie ahead. So there you have it, geeky lingo that can take you from being a crypto noob to a crypto dude, one step at a time. Stay tuned to Business Today for more.
And full disclaimer, I'm a crypto noob as well, but hopefully will be a crypto dude after watching more of Ayush's shows here on India Today. I promise we'll all get to know much more, and right before the Parliament session, hopefully we'll all be much better prepared to understand and process why crypto is so important and how it's going to take over perhaps our lives in the future. Very